When it comes to reading plans, I find that so often they fall into one of two categories. They're either so short and simple that after you've completed the 3-day plan or the 5-day plan or the 7-day plan, you don't know what to do next, and so you don't do anything. Or they're huge 1-year, 2-year plans that are so overwhelming you either never get started or you quit after a month or two, and then it's tough to get back going again. If that's you, you're in the right place, because I'm going to give you a 90-day plan. Well, it's actually 89 days, but you'll see. And not a single day of it is overwhelming. Now, before we dive into this, I want to make sure that you have my #1 free resource, the simplest way to study any Bible passage. Go to keithfarron.com/simplest way or click the link below. And in fact, it's going to be helpful for the plan that we're about to talk about as soon as we make the transition to the next screen. All right, for this plan, all you're going to need is your Bible and a notepad. It can even be a digital notepad. It could be a sticky notepad. Now, if you're going to use paper, I guess the third thing you'll need is a pen, but there you go. And for this plan, we are going to only look at books in the New Testament and only look at books that can be read in 20 minutes or less. This isn't speed reading. This is just reading out loud at a normal rate of speed. There are 17 of the 27 books that can be read in 20 minutes or less. And they're really, really easy to find. You take the first 8 away, you take the last one off, and that deals with 9 of them. And the only other book that you're not going to read is Hebrews. The other 17 books, you'll find them just in order. You start with Galatians. You just keep reading. When you get to Hebrews, you skip Hebrews and you read the next several. But here is how you're going to do it. And here's how this turns into a 90-day plan. You've probably heard me talk about in another video or 2 or 20, because I talk about it all the time, the analogy of watching the movie before you study the scenes. Well, we're going to simplify that. When I'm studying a book of the Bible really deeply, I'll talk about watching the movie 30 times in 30 days and then studying the scenes for another 30 days or something like that. This is a simplified version of that. And so what you're going to do, let's take the first book that the 9th book of the New Testament, the book of Galatians, which is the first short book in the New Testament. And you're just going to take Galatians, and it'll take you about 17, 18 minutes to read if you're reading out loud at a normal rate of speed. So you're going to watch the movie of Galatians by just reading it. And then the next day, you're going to look at the first scene. It's 6 chapters. So you're going to have one day where you're just reading it. Then you're going to have 6 days where you're just looking at chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, all the way through to 6. And then on the 8th day, you're going to read Galatians again. So that's Galatians for 8 days. Ephesians, the next book, is also 6 chapters. So that's going to be 8 days, because at the day 1 and day 8, you're going to watch the movie. Well, the next one is Philippians, only 4 chapters. So that's only going to be 6 days, right? Watch the movie, study a scene, study a scene, study a scene, study a scene, watch the movie. And you're just going to work your way through. There are 4 books that are only 1 chapter. So you're just going to be in that. For example, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, Philemon, those are 1 chapter. You're just going to be in it for 1 day. Then you're going to move on to the next book. Each day, when you've got your pad, all you're going to do is you're going to jot down the answers to the questions that are on that note, that PDF that I told you could download, the simplest way to study any Bible passage. The questions on there are, what does this passage say about who God is? What does this passage say about what God has done? What does this passage say about who I am? And how am I going to respond? So this isn't just what do I need to apply? What is this nugget of truth? Whatever. Maybe it's going to be an application, but it also just might be your response is to be grateful. Your response is to pray. Your response is to sit in silence. There are lots of ways that we can respond other than just taking an action. And so when you look at those questions, you can jot those down, and you can also jot some other things down, like, what did I just notice? What was confusing to me? What do I need to look up later? And because of the way that those are, the number of chapters in each, some are 2 chapters, 3 chapters, 4 chapters, 5 chapters, 6 chapters, and the longest of those is 6 chapters. And because of that, the reading it before, reading it after, and then reading a chapter in between, that's actually going to add up to 89 days. Is going to walk you through the 17 shorter books of the New Testament using the watching the movie and then studying the scenes method. And if you want to then extend that out for another bit of time, you can just take the notes that you wrote and the things that you want to revisit, the things you want to explore further, and that could turn into another month. If 90 days, if that's 3 months, you could take a fourth month and you can just say, for that fourth month, I'm just going to go and I'm going to do a little bit deeper dive into the questions, the thoughts, the ideas, the things that I decided that I wanted to explore more. So grab your Bible, skip Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, and go to Galatians. And just read Galatians. Get started with that and work your way through the New Testament. And those 89 days, if you miss a day, go for 90, are going to just give you this overview of the letters of the New Testament that is going to be fun to go through. It's going to be encouraging because every day you're going to accomplish something because you have these small bite-sized chunks, none of which are more than 20 minutes. And when you accomplish something and then the next day you accomplish something and you're just going to build this momentum. And after 90 days, you're going to have not only a better understanding of the New Testament and these letters, you're going to have read some really, really cool things, and you're going to have built this consistent rhythm that will flow over into whatever reading plan it is you do next. So tackle this. Let me know how it goes. And if you've got any questions about that, leave that in the comments as well. And I would love to answer your questions, love to interact with you and see how this is going for you. So hope this helps. If so, subscribe to this channel, share this video with a friend, and I will see you in the next video.